It's 12:04 and you're back with me, Fazila Isaac, on the mid-morning talk on Salam Media. Don't forget, you can still engage with us on our social media pages. Go to our Twitter account, Facebook, send us a WhatsApp message, let us know your thoughts. So we're back with Octavia Ephraim. Now, Octavia Ephraim has 13 years corporate experience in the fiduciary industry. She left corporate and she started her own business, which is Octavia Image Institute. Octavia has also been a finalist for the Mrs. United Nations SA, and she became involved with these campaigns to end human trafficking at that time. This was part of her community project, and she's continuing with her activism when it comes to human trafficking. She also is a child welfare ambassador, as well as the 67 Blankets ambassador as well, and she's amazing. Yes, so she's currently the Socio-Economic Development Director for the BLoved Foundation, and she has actually taken up the challenge to summit Kilimanjaro in order to bring awareness for human trafficking in South Africa. Welcome, Octavia.
Azila, thank you so much for having me. It's such an honor,
You're
to be
more than
invited.
welcome. It's so great that you took the time. I know you're quite busy. We saw from your resume you are quite busy. So thank you so much for taking the time to join us and to speak on this all important problem that we are having in South Africa. I don't think people have realized that human trafficking is a reality. I think it's not out there so much. People are not talking about it as much, and maybe that's why we have blinkers on. But then we have people like you who come remove the blinkers for us.
Mm.
Firstly, I'd like to commend you for that. It's not easy. I know for a fact it's not easy. And firstly, thank you. Especially for the women and the girls who are actually benefiting from this. So let's get into it. Tell us about the BLoved Foundation that you are part of, and what was actually the inspiration behind this?
Fantastic. Fasila, thank you so much. I mean, you've indicated that I've got a very hectic schedule, but when we get such opportunity to raise awareness, the voice of the media, it's very louder than us. I remember when I started in 2009, I thought, approaching the media houses, I thought that they'll be excited to say, wow, this is a very important subject. Every media should say yes, 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 yes. And sadly, not everybody embraces the platform. So when we get this platform to speak about human trafficking, one drops everything. And I mean, like you say, tell me more about how I got engaged with BLoved Foundation. It's such an amazing organization. Reading from my portfolio that I started the End Human Trafficking project when I was the finalist for human trafficking, and that was in 2009. And fast forward 11 years later, I'm still on it. And when I started, I thought it was just a community project for the pageantry competition. When I'm done, I'm done. Little did I know that God had other plans for me. And for so many years, I've been doing it as a standalone, Octavia. And through my speaking engagement, I was introduced to BLoved Foundation. And they've got a beautiful program now. And then it was they have a beautiful program of Maths Day and Maths revision. So I was invited to speak to the matrix about human trafficking, and I got to know about the organization, amazing organization then that I was not involved in. And what excited me was reaching the market that we want the most, the youth, to raise awareness about human trafficking. And fast forward 2018, when I was involved with Tankwa Camino looking for sponsorship, I approached BLoved Foundation to sponsor, and we started as sponsoring my project. And going back, why I'm giving the history is I love that our marriage was not just, hey, this is an excitement, we're doing, this, so let's join forces, right? For so many years, I've been doing this as a standalone, and everybody was saying, Octavia, why don't you start your foundation? I never wanted to have just a foundation for the sake of the foundation. But then I looked at different organizations that I can collaborate with. When I got involved with BLoved Foundation, when I got to know more about them, it just ticked all the boxes that I wanted to achieve should I have my foundation. And here we are today. I'm one of the directors leading the portfolio of, we've got different portfolio, but one of them is our R3egain program, where we truly journey with the women that were trafficked when they were young. And our vision, it's truly on holistic to restoration to their journey. Because remember, when someone has been trafficked, Fasima, the restoration journey, we always say it's truly not a hit and run, right? So we help them with housing, legal representative, training program, and unification program, and we empower them to find themselves again so that they know they matter. The healing journey with them is just a beautiful holistic program.
So I see you have found your place with the foundation, which is phenomenal, which means that the passion that you had going and doing all of this on your own, you now partnered with people who share the passion with you. So of course the work is just going to come after that, the results come from that as
Absolutely.
well.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, we always say that there's power in collaboration, but also who you collaborate with matters, and it makes a
100%,
huge
yes.
difference. I mean, the
Mm.
little that I could reach on my own, now that I'm under the umbrella of BLoved Foundation and also being hands-on in what we do, we reach even beyond further than what Octavia could reach.
100%, 100%. I think it is key that people understand that when you collaborate, it's not about collaborating to outshine the next, but if you
Yeah,
have a shared goal, a shared purpose, and it's all for the betterment, it's all for the good of what you're actually trying
absolutely,
to achieve. Yeah. So,
absolutely.
the R3egain program, it does place a huge focus on human trafficking. What is the actual reality of human trafficking here in South Africa? Paint us a picture of the reality of it.
Fasila, the second part of it, our South African borders are the destination of human trafficking. Remember, we've got major airports in South Africa. So the destination and transportation of traffickers happens a lot in South Africa. And the second part of it is many people think it doesn't happen in South Africa, number one, and two, it would not happen to me. People are
Mm.
trafficked for different reasons. And the major one, of course, it's a sex trade one, the drug trade one, and also some certain cultures and religions, people are being trafficked to make sure that whatever they want to do with the victim, it is done, right? So the sad part of it is South Africans, we're just saying it happens outside South Africa, it happens overseas. That is why the most important part to say, if we can focus on prevention, and prevention, raising awareness about human trafficking to ensure that people are not trafficked, because when people are trafficked, they're to be rescued, the chances are very slim. And also,
Mm.
if when they are rescued, what they went through, and for their lives to come normal again, like it can take years for that. And we're saying, if we can do our best, let's collaborate in the prevention side to ensure that people are aware and they know what to do. Now that you know what human trafficking is, you would know exactly what to do. And I think I'm excited about our organization, that we also very big in collaboration with other organizations. Besides the restoration part that we journey with the victims, we're also very big on raising awareness, going to schools and speak about human trafficking, organizing the walk. For instance, in October this year, we're going to be collaborating with A21, organizing the Walk for Freedom. It's a global walk for freedom that happens across globally, where we are truly raising awareness about human trafficking. And in that program, we invite as many people as we can to come join us. And of course, we have speakers that will also be speaking about human trafficking. So we're very big with raising awareness as well.
Yeah. So when it comes to the women that come to your program, you did speak about helping them holistically, into being survivors of being trafficked. I know it's a lot of young girls as well, and you've touched on the reasons for these things happening. But how can we try and prevent these things from happening? How can we get our young girls to understand that, listen, you cannot be outside at this part of the night because this can happen to you. It can happen
Yeah,
during the day, not necessarily at night. So keep that thought with you. Let's just take a quick ad break and we'll have your thoughts on that when we get back.
awesome.
Joining hands, Salam Media.
لا تقل لوحدي أو كيف السبيل.
Humanity sets the agenda.
تصنع المستحيل.
As some look forward to the blessings and beauty of winter, the less fortunate in South Africa are preparing for the harsh realities that this season may bring. Africa Muslims agencies on the ground distributing blankets, clothing, and other essentials to thousands across the country. Sponsor a winter warmth pack for 280 rands. Call Africa Muslims Agency now on 011 834 8685. Spread warmth this winter with Africa Muslims Agency.
When the perfect blend of stylish decor, exquisite halal cuisine, and warm hospitality come together, it could only mean Albeit Lodge, your true home away from home. Albeit is the ideal heaven for families, business people, and tourists with its 4-star family rooms and other luxurious facilities. Conveniently situated close to Port Elizabeth Airport, the beach, and other amenities, your stay will be truly unforgettable as you'll be taking home lasting memories of the warm hospitality, the serenity and tranquility that Albeit has to offer. For reservations, call 041 583 6415 or visit www.albeitlodge.co.za.
Give charity without delay, for it stands in the way of calamities. For child-headed households in Bloemendal in the Eastern Cape, the daily diet consists of white bread and a carton of cheap juice or sugar water, known locally as the poppy water diet. Make a difference to that one child or family. The Al-Fida Foundation has over the past 13 years worked on the ground and gathered the largest database in the Eastern Cape region of Muslim zakah recipients. Phone our offices at 041 484 1288 or visit our website at www.alfida.co.za. The Al-Fida Foundation, your social investment partner in the Eastern Cape.
For a long time, we've lived in a centralized world where institutions held the all-important data and confirmed all transactions. Those times are over. Welcome to Libertas Group, a blockchain developing company boasting an ecosystem that continually redefines the way we do business. Our blockchain is decentralized, making it immune to hacking or alteration, putting the power back in your hands with no middleman so you can focus on the growth of your business. Libertas, the simplest investment choice you'll make.
It's a new beginning. It's a new era. Salam Media, humanitarian journalism.
It's 12:18 and you're back with me, Fazila Isaac. We are speaking to Octavia Ephraim, the Socio-Economic Development Director of the BLoved Foundation. Welcome back, Octavia.
Thank you so much, Fasina. And
So before the break, we were speaking about how do we raise this awareness when it comes to the women and the young girls in South Africa. How do we get them to understand and to know, what, don't do this. It's very heartbreaking that we cannot be free. We cannot have freedom of movement. It's sad, but there's nothing we can do at this point but protect ourselves. So what can young girls and women do, to try to protect themselves from this?
Fasila, we living in a culture that it feels like we celebrating material things more than anything else, and poverty is the reality. On the young girl, I would say number one, for those that are looking for employment, if something looks too good to be true, trust me, there is a blind spot that you have to peel all the layers of the onion and find out, is this real job that I need to go for an interview? And this is how traffickers attract the youngsters, promising them heaven and earth. For instance, you're going to travel for free, we're going to pay your accommodation, you're going to pay this and that, right? The beauty is, I mean, when I started in 2009 with anti-human trafficking awareness, the movement and the collaboration was not as it is now. We're not there, but we're getting there now. And the beauty is we've got a toll-free number, 0800 222 777, that we can phone for. It's a human trafficking resource toll-free number for South Africa, right? Whereby you can really go to their website, call the number and say, this is the job that I've been promised. I want to check whether it's legit or not. Don't ever take anything for granted. You know, my language code on human trafficking, when I speak about human trafficking, is be vigilant all the time. Never take anything for granted, right? And also, you know, learn the culture of earning things. I know sometimes when I want to drive a Mercedes, it's not going to be a 2 months work or 2 months installment, then I have my Mercedes, you know. Just be content with what you have and make sure that you work on your self-esteem. Anything that you are vulnerable on, make sure you heal, because the traffickers are very much looking for the vulnerable. You know, they will promise them things that they don't have, you know. So I cannot ever emphasize to say, make that toll-free number and share the number, because look, human trafficking is so broad. And traffickers, they are so brilliant. Once we find these new ways of knowing how they operate, trust me, they would find other ways. But on this toll-free number, we've got professionals that are researching, that are working with real cases, that are working with true stories, that will research even more for you on to check whether that job is a true one or not a true one, you know. And also the other organization that I can also, you know, promote is NFN. It's a network movement that it's sort of a body for all the human and human trafficking activists in South Africa. So when you go to nfn.org.za, you would see in Pretoria, in Gauteng, in Eastern Cape, in any province in South Africa, who are the champions that I can talk to. Because also, you cannot just talk to anyone. Sadly, when we also have to emphasize that you cannot trust anyone, it is also sadly that some are trafficked by friends, some are trafficked by family members, some are trafficked by the so-called pastors, you know. So when you see something that you don't trust, don't take it for granted. Rather, work with organizations that you know they are the champions in that space.
So trust your instincts, basically.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's so important, you know, if you have a feeling that something is wrong, trust that feeling. You know, your instincts are there for a reason.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you can't just ask anyone. For instance, I would say, if you've got a toothache, you go to the dentist, right? If you've got an eye problem, you go to the optometrist. Yes. And it's the language, it's the culture that I'd also want to really say to South Africans, ask the right people, and the people that they know what they do.
So, you know, there's many ways that we can raise awareness when it comes to things like human trafficking, but you are going the extra mile. So you are doing the summit, the Kilimanjaro summit. Tell us about that.
Oh, my, never saw this coming. I always say, you know, I'm a dreamer. I've got my wish long list. But Mount Kilimanjaro, I've always said that's for the brave. I'm not that brave. And again, as BLoved Foundation, we've collaborated with Freedom Challenge Africa. And annually, they've got every challenge that they bring on board every year. And trust me, I don't even know what's going to be the challenge next year. And I remember when we collaborated with them last year, 2018 Tankwa Camino, I said, you know what, no more. But I guess every challenge that they bring, the vision behind that, it's truly the inspiration, one, to raise the voice even louder, and two, the experience of participating in such challenges. It's to also put yourself in the shoes of the trafficked victim, what they go through on a daily basis. If you've got an opportunity that you can raise an awareness and funds for them to be rescued, and also for the prevention training program, why not? And the slogan is actually saying their challenge, our challenge, their freedom, And so when I want to quit, I'm like, by the way, why I'm doing this, why we're doing this, our challenge, their freedom, So we're truly looking forward to this exciting, humbling, terrible journey.
I think just because of the fact that there's a purpose behind it, it's going to be very much worth it. Absolutely going to be very much worth it.
Absolutely. And Freedom Challenge Africa, again, their vision, it aligns so much, so beautifully with what we do as BLoved Foundation. It's such a beautiful marriage that we have, so I'm truly grateful.
Our challenge is their freedom. Couldn't have said it better. All right. So, what other programs does the BLoved Foundation engage in? I know they do have the physical, emotional, psychological aspects that they deal with. So, what other programs do they have?
We've got the youth program, youth development program. We've got the Nature SA program. And in the youth development, one of the beautiful thing that we do annually, it's our Math Day, where we bring the matric from the disadvantaged to come and do the revision for maths. It's one of an amazing success stories that we do as well. And also, with collaboration with our R3egain program, we've got our in-house program, right? But the beauty is we also collaborate with organizations that are standalone, but also, we help them, with financial assistance for them to have great sustainable programs as well.
So, you did say that if you go out there and you see there's a job and you want to make sure that this is actually legit. Could you tell us that number again that someone can call, because it's a toll-free number, right?
Yes.
Okay, what is that number?
It's a toll-free number, 0800 322 777. And then also remember we also collaborate with A21. Also at A21.org, when you go through to their website, there's so much beautiful, amazing training. If you're somebody that would say, I would love beyond just calling the number, I want to do the training myself, raising awareness through training. A21 has amazing training program for different, for educators, for ECD, and for the youth. If you want to go to schools, you're going to want to go to churches, there's an amazing training material that is there already.
Okay. And if somebody wants to donate to your cause, how do they get into contact with you guys?
Oh, fantastic. We always, want to serve our beneficiaries even more, and we can only do that through collaboration. Please go through our website, www.b-loved.org. And when you go to our website, you would see there's a donate folder where you can just click. And the beauty is we've just summarized everything. When you donate, what happens. And I hope when you donate, when you read that, it's going to inspire you to donate, and not just that, but also to inspire others to come on board. You can also email our marketing division, rocks@b4i.co.za.
Fantastic. Octavia, thank you so much for joining us today. We've learned quite a bit about your cause and all of the sacrifices that you guys are making. We are really, really grateful from a woman to you guys. We are really, really grateful for all the efforts that you are putting in. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Priscilla, thank you so much for having me. Hey,
You're welcome. Have a good afternoon.
thank you.
So that was the amazing Octavia Ephraim and the work that they've been doing to help with human trafficking. So we're actually going to take a short break and we'll be right back with our last guest. That's going to be a community project that they are running, and we're going to speak to them after this. Stay tuned.